Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? So the Saints made a splash earlier this week in signing Tyrann Mathieu in free agency, but they may not be done. I know a lot of people in these parts are kind of itching a little bit to see if the Saints might make another run at Jarvis Landry, who did visit the Saints facility before the draft and left without a deal. While, yes, the fan in me would love to see Jarvis end up in New Orleans, I don't know that makes a ton of sense after drafting Chris Olave. You've got now two receivers who are going to be gobbling up premium targets. That's without even considering Alvin Kamara. I kind of feel like Jarvis might be able to get a better deal and a better opportunity elsewhere. Baltimore, Atlanta, places where they need pass catchers, proven pass catchers. And it might make more sense. If he ends up in New Orleans, awesome. Would love it. But I do think the Saints have bigger needs. One of the spots we talked about before the draft was running back. And I was kind of hoping the Saints would use a mid-round pick on a running back in this draft because there wasn't really, aside from Breece Hall, a running back that seemed like he was even challenged to go round one. When you looked in the middle rounds, round 3 and 4, it's where you saw a glut of talent in this draft. If it was Isaiah Spiller, I know a lot of people were high on Kenneth Walker as well out of Michigan State, but if it was Isaiah Spiller, I talked about Kyron Williams from Notre Dame as someone that I really liked a lot in this draft. But the Saints, of course, traded up, and so they didn't have a 3rd or 4th round pick and ended up not drafting a running back. Now, they did take a running back or sign a running back in as an undrafted free agent, Abram Smith from Baylor. He was a 1,600-yard rusher and may end up being a very good running back. But the Saints could well be looking to solidify that spot with a proven veteran. And they're bringing in Sony Michel for a visit. I would be over the moon if the Saints work out a deal with Sony Michel. Y'all know the backstory. Sony Michel's an SEC guy. He played at the University of Georgia and was a first-round pick of the New England Patriots. Oddly enough, he didn't ever emerge in New England as a bell cow. New England's just a little different, isn't it, when we consider Belichick and how that organization's been run. As a rookie, ran for 931 yards, averaged 4.5 yards a carry. Second year, played in all 16 games, ran for 912 yards, averaged just a hair under 4 yards a carry. His third year in the NFL was the COVID year. He only played 9 games, but he averaged nearly 6 yards a carry, 5.7 yards a carry, but his attempts went way down. The Patriots traded him to the Rams. Remember, Cam Akers was coming off the Achilles injury, so Sony Michel was kind of the lead back until Cam Akers returned and averaged 4 yards a carry, played in all 17 games, but he was kind of the guy until Akers returned, and then Michel kind of took a backseat to Cam Akers once he returned. But I look at a guy who Sony Michel's 27 years old, so in NFL terms, especially for running backs, 27 feels old. 27 feels like an old running back. But he's only played 4 years. Like, there's a lot of tread left on the tires because he came into the league later in his career. And remember, at the University of Georgia, they had such a glut of running back talent when Sony Michel was at UGA that you didn't have guys that had 250, 300 carries in a season. So for Sony Michel, you can kind of look at it and say, man, yeah, he's 27, but here's his stats at Georgia. He had 64 attempts as a freshman. He had 219 as a sophomore in 2015, ran for 1,100 yards. Then 152 and 156 attempts. Like, they did not wear out any of their backs at UGA. So a guy that's only got 743 career rushing attempts. He's ran for just over 3,000 yards, 3,100 yards in his career. even though he's 27, I believe he's a young, fresh 27. And you're not even asking him to be the bell cow in New Orleans. You're talking about a roster where Alvin Kamara is going to be the guy, and Mark Ingram is going to be fighting for a roster spot, but you're likely going to lose Kamara for 6 games. And if you're going to lose Kamara for 6 games, you're going to need that complimentary back along with Mark Ingram, provided he makes this team. And boy, I like the idea of it being Sony Michel. Any of his seasons in the NFL, if he could deliver any of his seasons in the NFL as the number 2 back with the Saints, you all of a sudden become one of the most potent rushing teams in the NFL with someone like Michel alongside Kamara. As a rookie, ran for 931 yards. Second year, ran for 912. Third year, that 2020 season, when he averaged nearly 6 yards a carry, he only had 79 rushing attempts and played 9 games. 79 attempts for 449 yards. Even if that's all he would give you over the course of a season, 80 to 100 rushing attempts, 4 to 5 attempts a game. Okay. Like, as a number 2 and that's your guy, I think that would be a phenomenal addition. Like, he is the picture of what I would be thinking of as a guy to complement Alvin Kamara in this offense. A young veteran with fresh legs who could really add another dimension to this running game. The big question is going to be, what does Sony Michel want financially? What might he command on the open market? And, of course, running backs have been just completely devalued. But, Kamara is a guy that got paid. Kamara is behind McCaffrey in the average per year payout of his contract. McCaffrey averages $16 million a year. Kamara at $15 million a year, right where Zeke is as well. And that's sort of the cautionary tale, isn't it? When you look at the highest paid running backs in the NFL, Dalvin Cook at 12.6, Derrick Henry at 12.5, Nick Chubb at 12.2, Aaron Jones at 12, Joe Mixon at 12. I guess that's the point, isn't it? Saquon Barkley, what do they do with Barkley in New York? That's kind of the question, is what would it cost? Is Sony Michel willing to do a 1-year deal? Does he want some longevity? Where he fits in there financially, I think, is the bigger question for the New Orleans Saints. On the field, the idea of Sony Michel joining the New Orleans Saints makes a ton of sense for any reason possible. He can run the ball between the tackles. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He'd be a great complementary piece to Alvin Kamara. If Kamara misses 6 games, he could step in and be your guy like he was last year in L.A. while Cam Akers was out with injury. Like, I love it. On the field, it makes all the sense in the world. The only question is, what's it going to cost? What's it going to cost? But I would love it if those two sides could get a deal done. Sony Michel, he's going to visit the New Orleans Saints, according to a report from Jeremy Fowler, scheduled to meet the Saints in the days ahead. Already previously met with the Miami Dolphins. See if the Saints can get a deal done. But for me, running back would be at the top of the list right now of positions I'd like to see the Saints address. Running back, tight end, certainly as well. But if you can add someone like Sony Michel at running back, add another dimension to this offense, boy, you just keep giving Jameis all of those toys in the toy chest. And this could be a very fun offense to watch. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.